Hi Year 3, today we're going to continue our learning on time. So you will need a pen or a pencil and either the printed resources attached to the assignment or a piece of plain paper. Once you've got those things, have a go at the spaced learning. Pause the video now and have a go at that. Okay, hopefully you've taken some time to remind yourself about how to tell the time. We looked at telling it to the exact minute last lesson with Mr. Drew, how many days are in each month, and some formal methods there as well. So on to today's learning, we are looking at the 12-hour digital clock. Now don't get confused because there is another type of digital clock as well called the 24-hour clock. We're going to learn about the 24-hour digital clock next lesson, okay? So today we'll look at the 12-hour clock and we'll sort of go on to that next lesson, so don't get confused. This is called an analog clock. This is what we've been looking at so far. This clock then says 10 minutes past, and you can see it's 10 minutes past 2. This clock here, 9:30, 12:05. Okay, so that's how we say it when we read an analog clock. When we read a 12-hour digital clock, we say it slightly differently, and you may have heard people say this when they read the time to you off of their digital clock. So if you've got a Fitbit, it will be written like this as a digital form, and it will always tell you how many minutes past the hour. It will never tell you how many minutes to the hour. So it might say, okay, it's 9:45, so that means it's 45 minutes past 9, which is the same as saying 9:45. Okay, so this one here, 10 past 2, as you can see on the digital clock, it says the hour first. So 2 is the hour, 10 minutes past. So they might say, oh, it's 2:10. And we've got a 0 here. This space is in case it's a 2-digit number like 12, 11, or 10. But obviously, as 2 doesn't have any 10s in it, we just put 0 as the placeholder, as you would if it was 5 past the hour. 5 doesn't have any 10s in it, so we put 0 as the placeholder. So this one, 9:30, is the same as saying 9:30 because it means 30 minutes past 9. And you can prove that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes past 9. Over here, 5 minutes past 12. Okay. So what can't we find out from these clocks? Well, this is really important because if you look at this clock and you see it says 2:10 or 10 past 2, you think, is that 10 past 2 in the morning when I'd be asleep in bed, or is it 10 past 2 in the afternoon, just after lunch? Well, we don't know. So with a digital clock, either it will tell you in the 24-hour form, which we will learn next week, or they will write AM or PM next to the clock, as you will see here. So AM means before midday and PM means after midday. So let's look at these ones. These are ones that might be a bit harder because they're 2 on an analog clock. So this one we would normally read as 5, 10, 10 minutes left until it gets to 2 o'clock, which means it's 10 to 2 because we know it goes this way around. However, when we look at the digital clock, we say 1:50, and that's because it's actually 50 minutes past 1. Yes, it's 10 minutes to 2, but it's 50 minutes past 1. We know if we do 50 add 10, we get 60, which is how many minutes are in the hour. So we can check it's 50 minutes past 1 by going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So it's travelled 50 minutes around the clock, 1:50. 50 minutes past 1. Okay, over here 11:55 would be, we would say normally 5 minutes to 12 if we were looking at an analog clock, but it's 55 minutes past 11 as well. So it's just a different way of saying it, that's all. So let's look at this problem. My computer lets me. One of the times is when Dexter starts school. Which do you think it is? Do we think it's 8:45 AM or 8:45 PM? Now I've ticked AM because AM means before lunch, PM means after lunch or midday. So it cannot be 8:45 PM because that's at night. That's probably when you're in bed or getting into bed. he would start school in the morning, which is 8:45, 45 minutes past 8 in the morning, or we might say 8:45. So there's a you do now. Now you need to also circle whether it's AM or PM for me. So over here I've written some times. You need to write them in and circle whether it's AM or PM. So the first one is done for you. It says 6:20 in the morning. So I know 6 is the hour, so I've put 06 because it hasn't got any 10s, and then 20, 6:20, the same as 6:20. Now it says in the morning, so I know it's AM, and I've circled it. Now these times I've written in a way to help you write them in a digital form. So I've written 45 minutes past 3. If we looked at an analog clock, we would call that 4:45. But I've written it this way to help you write it there in this way. So pause the video and have a go now. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to fill out those clocks. Here are the answers. So 45 minutes past 3 in the afternoon, which you might also say is 4:45, should be 03:45 PM because it's in the afternoon. 5 minutes past 10 in the morning, 10:05 because it's 5 minutes past 10. And then I've put AM because it's the morning. 1:35 is the same as 35 minutes past 1 in the afternoon, or 25 to 2, you might call it. So with the fluency, you've got to do exactly the same thing, just to keep practicing. If you got some wrong on the you do, I suggest you now speak with an adult in your house to talk about where you went wrong before carrying on to make sure that you've understood. Okay, here it says complete the 12-hour digital clocks to match the time given and add AM or PM. Now we know that the hour hand here is at the 7 and the minute at the 12, so it's 7 o'clock. And it says here in the morning. So I've put 07 as 7 doesn't have any 10s, 00 because it's 0 minutes past 7. It's exactly on 7 AM. So you can work your way through the fluency, dive deeper, dive even deeper, and free dive. When you've done that, we'd love to see photographs or scanned copies of your learning attached to the assignment. If you'd like a further challenge, there's a white rose sheet attached as well, which you can complete if you're looking for more maths learning. So good luck, and we can't wait to see your work.